All right. So we are going to talk about fear today. Okay? Do me a favor, Matthew. Read what I asked you to find in the big book, what it says about fear.
Beer?
Not beer, fear.
Oh. What we're going to talk about beer.
Yeah.
What page?
Selfishness, self-centeredness. That we think is the root of our trouble. Driven by 100 forms of fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity, we step on the toes of our fellows and they retaliate. Sometimes they hurt us, seemingly without cause. We invariably find at some point in the past that we have made decisions based on self, which later place us in a position to be hurt.
Okay. So here's the thing. This is what I want to explain to you guys. This disease is rooted in low self-esteem and fear. Okay? The things we do while we're using, and probably the way we've been looking at ourselves our whole life is the low self. Like, anybody in here ever felt inferior, inadequate their whole life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the low self-esteem comes in. But here's the thing. We are completely motivated by fear. I'm going to break it down. There's two major fears that every other fear stems from, okay? I'm writing this on the board. This don't work. It's the fear. These are the two major fears. If you want to write it down, you can. Not getting what we want and losing what we already have. Now, I asked you guys to bring a pen and a paper, and I'm going to ask you to write some stuff down. Here's the thing. I want you guys to write something. I want you guys to write down some of your fears, right? Listen, here's some of my fears. I'm afraid of being embarrassed. I'm afraid of what Pam thinks about me. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that would motivate me. I'm afraid of what people think, of what they might say, or I don't want to be embarrassed. Or here's the biggest fear I had. What do you think it was?
Myself.
My biggest fear was running out. Not getting what we want,
And the next one.
and losing what we already have. And I also want you to write down basically your major fear. Mine was, here's the thing, my major fear wasn't dying. It really wasn't. My major fear was that my kids were going to have to go to my funeral. Even though that is me dying, but I wasn't really afraid of dying. I was afraid of them having to go to my funeral. That's really that was the thing that scared me the most. That's the reason why I went into treatment
Now,
last time.
are we doing this when we were in our non-addiction?
I don't care right now. What are your fears right now? No, you know what I'm saying, Travis? Like, what's things? I mean, listen, guys, this is what I'm trying to explain to you. We have the low self-esteem. We've already kind of agreed with that, right? Like, the people that do the shit that we do to our bodies don't have good self-esteem. I'm not saying we can't recognize our good qualities. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying people that poison themselves, people that put themselves in the positions we do, it's because we don't love and care about ourselves enough. Here's the thing. It's the fear that's been, guys, seriously, I want to really break this down, but we are completely motivated by fear. Here's the thing. I want to break something down to you. There's only two emotions, as you guys are writing this down, listen. There's only two emotions a human being feels their whole entire life. Love and fear. Every negative emotion is a secondary emotion of fear. If you're embarrassed, which is fear, right? But if you're embarrassed, what are you afraid of?
The way I look.
The way I look, or what people are thinking, or are they, whatever. Now, if it's jealousy, what's jealousy? Well, you're afraid that somebody that you're close to may be giving time to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not getting the full attention.
I'm just trying to think of what's other negative emotions. Anxiety? Anxiety stems from the fear of not having a happy future, whether that future be in 5 minutes or 500 years. Do you understand?
Yes.
So here's the thing, what I was telling you guys. We have been in fear our whole entire lives. It's been encompassing us. It said it right before what Matthew read. What did it say? 100 forms of fear, Matthew?
Yes, 100 forms of fear. Fear, self-delusion, self-seeking, and self-pity.
And the fear is what runs us. The Buddhists say we're in so much pain because we always want something. We always want something. We are convinced if we get what we want, we'll be okay. Now, love is the only true emotion. Love, believe it or not though, love is just the absence of fear. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like when we could even be in a room like this, like everybody, a lot of people have some crazy shit going on the outside, right? Who's got a mess going on the outside? Frank. Me and you had a good conversation the other day where we were just connected and talking and we were laughing a little bit. And like the shit that was going on the outside, it wasn't completely encompassing your brain, and we were connected, and it was almost like that fear subsided for a little bit. You know what I mean? When does the fear hit us the most? Say that again. When we're alone. Why?
Because we don't have anybody around.
We don't have anybody around us, and we're going around and around in our head, right? Like, I don't know about you, but like, I could have a small problem at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Whatever it is. And if I'm by myself and I'm not reaching out and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, by dinner time, I'm ready to jump off a bridge. Oh man, I'm never going to be able, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how my brain works. It goes, here's the thing. 98% of the shit we fear never even happens. Yeah. Does anybody know why we try to worry the shit out of these problems or try to figure this stuff? Why we worry and try to figure everything out so much?
Because our brain creates problems for us.
Well, no, because we think we have a sense of control. You know what I'm saying? Like if we are constantly prepared for the worst case scenario, well, we can't be let down, then we have a plan of action, then we can defeat it, and then we really weren't blindsided. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we completely overthink everything, overworry everything. We live in fear. So let me ask you this, and I'm telling you, since the age of 5 or 6 or 7 years old, I was always worried about, all I ever, I can't remember how young I was, but through these 2 eyes, I'm looking out into the world, and I'm constantly trying to make myself feel better, because I'm in constant fear that I won't get what I want, or that I'll lose what I have. And it's always, I want to get what I want, because I'm convinced if I get what I want, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like always, if I can just get that, I'd be happy. I would just get that. So my whole entire life, I'm in fear, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm chasing. And certain things kind of make that fear go away. You know, certain things, clothes and girls and cars and whatever. But it was like nothing shut that voice off and made that fear go away better than drugs and alcohol for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. So if we are completely run by fear and encompassed by fear, and we're moving by fear, and we put that shit in our body, and the fear goes away, what is it actually, what are we actually experiencing? And I just told you this before. Love. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what's love? The absence of fear. Do you understand what I'm saying? So why do you think we love the drugs and the alcohol so much? Quiet some voices down.
Because we know
Takes, and what did I just say? It's fear. Where's the pain come from? The fear. Because we are in constant fear of everything. Every single thing. I mean, like I said, I was always worried about what people would say, what people would think. I'm worried about what people think, even if they're not telling me what they think about me. Do you understand? I've been scared to death my whole life of being embarrassed. I've been scared not to live up to this bullshit thing that I put out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it was like once I reached this thing, like I put this wall up, like I was so scared to not live up to that. I was so scared of everything. My whole entire life was completely run by fear. But it was like when I put that stuff in my body, it went away. It was almost like love. But here's the thing, like when you're chasing love through a chemical, or a substance, or a drink, or a man, or money, or whatever, it's always going to let you down. Do you understand? Like I keep telling you guys all the time, why, like, everybody in here, nobody in here has a drug and alcohol problem. Everybody in here can write books on how to do drugs and alcohol. And nobody in here has a stopping problem because we've all stopped. Matthew, how many times you stopped? Can't even count. Daniel?
Same.
I mean, how many people in here have stopped so many times? Like, so let's be real. Pam, if you had an alcohol problem, the 412 times that you stopped drinking alcohol, you wouldn't have went back to it, right? Like if alcohol was your problem, once you got rid of it and the detox and you got away from it and went a couple of weeks, a couple of months, you'd never go back to it. Why do we go back to it? It's a spiritual sickness. It's that spiritual sickness. It's that fear that runs inside of us. We are encompassed by this fear, and we were constantly looking for something to make us feel better. Do you understand? And that's what and it's crazy because they'll tell, I don't know about you, but if I was sitting in your seat and they said, Mike, you have a spiritual sickness and the only thing that's going to fix it is God and love and this and that, like, I'd be like, you're crazy. I have a substance abuse problem. I abuse the shit out of substances. That's my problem. Okay, so Chris, I want to know some of your fears and then your major fear.
Fear of being embarrassed, fear of failure, not being remembered, fear of regretting my decisions, death, losing my kids, or my kids dying, being alone when I die, and not living up to my potential.
Okay. Let me ask you something. How many of that stuff is pretty eminent right now? Like, do your kids have any, big diseases? No. And listen, I understand. I feel the same way, but like, how much of life do we go worrying about stuff that's never going to happen? You know what I mean? Like, because listen, I'm going to give you guys a little gem. The only thing that ever matters is today and right now. That's it. Living in the past. Anybody in here like to live in the past? Waste of time. You already did that shit.
Is it though? I mean, what if you learned a lesson from the past?
That's great. If you learn a lesson, then what are you doing? You're not repeating it in the future?
Right.
Great. So what are we going to keep worrying about in the past
Well, I
for?
guess that's the point.
No, and I understand what you're saying. It's great to learn from, but living in the past, what's the sense? All we have is today and right now, and we're worried about the future, and we're worried about the past. We're missing what's going on right now. Like this, right now, this is the absolute most important thing I got going on in my life right now. I mean, what else is there? Yeah.
What's the middle ground between preparing for the future and not being stuck in the future?
Well, like, what do you mean? Like, you're gonna go, like,
Not setting the expectations.
well, no, not even that. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're gonna set yourself up and go to college so you can get a good job?
No, like, oh yeah, I guess.
Okay, and that's great. That is preparing for the future. You know what I mean? Like, that's wonderful. And you want to do that stuff, but we do it one day at a time, right? Like, you get up and you go to class every day and you do this and you do that. It's just, so what else? What else do you mean?
So, if I'm present here in the moment,
Yeah.
but there's stuff in the future I know is going to actually happen or I need to prepare for it, what's the middle ground?
Well, like, I mean,
To prepare for it in that moment.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you trying to, like, give me a good example, because
Like your apartment.
Yeah,
like you're gonna want to pay your bills so you have a place to live, but
Like right now, my problem is I'm going to lose the apartment, right? So how do I prepare for that without being here right now?
all right, well, what can you do about that problem right now?
I can't do anything from here.
Okay, so right now we're gonna pay attention. We're gonna do what we can do. We're gonna try to get what we can get out of today. And then who's your counselor? Fred. And then you get with Fred and you make some phone calls and you talk to your lady and you do what you got to do and you try to figure some things out.
Yeah, but then leave it alone, right?
Yeah, I mean, do you guys get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because that.
Don't dwell on it all day.
Well, because
Because you can't do nothing about
you
it.
can't do nothing about it. I mean, the Serenity Prayer is the dopest shit ever. Someone say the Serenity Prayer, Dan.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can.
And the wisdom to know the difference, right? And the wisdom to know the difference. Because when we're sitting here worried about the stuff we can't change, I mean, all we can ever really control, because guys, control is an illusion, all we can ever really control is the way we react to people and things.
I mean, the only reason I ask that is because I worry it too much.
Yeah.
Like, my
Well, that's how, listen, what did I just started this whole thing
No,
off.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, and that's not you.
Yeah.
That's us. That's we. You know what I mean? I do, like, see, this is the thing. I don't do the same thing anymore. You know what I mean? But I used to. I used to be worried about so much shit while I was in treatment, like never really getting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just, it's like,
Never being present.
yeah, I never, see, that's the thing. It wasn't until I got clean, got sober through working the 12 steps, and then I was able to be present in the moment. I tell you, so I've been on like real good vacations and going out of the country and doing this and doing that, and all I was ever worried about was like, what was going on at home? I got to do this when I got it there, I got to do this. I'm running around trying to make sure I got enough drugs and money and this and that. Like, never being able to be like, man, this is not. Now when my kids come, every time my kids come, I have the vacation of a lifetime, because like there's times when I'll just sit there and be like, wow, I'll take it all in. I never knew how to take anything all in. Mr. Don, let me hear something.
I ain't got but one, and that's losing somebody else close to me, and I'm still stuck here.
And you're still stuck here?
Yep.
But you got your daughter here and your grandkids and stuff like that, right?
Right now, man.
No?
I mean, it's motivation and good people right now.
No? Okay, so,
I ain't got, well, I'm just talking about close family. Not my daughters, but children. I'm talking about fathers and sisters. And I got a dad and a niece left on my dad's side.
okay. So you're afraid to lose more people?
Soon.
All right, well, you told me the other day you had your daughter and your granddaughter. You told me your daughter don't play with you. You know, she's still in your life.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah?
Well, I'm digging up out of the fire. I ain't
Okay.
just out of it. I mean, I got like 3 years constantly losing people. So.
Okay. I understand. I get it. All right, go ahead, Frank.
I'm fear to be alone.
That's my fear.
Well, guys, let me.
Mine too.
Well, listen. Let me explain something to you. Right. A human being's number one motivation is to be loved and liked and connected. We want to be a part of. Right. Now, when we're out there using the way we use, what are we doing when we use like that?
Pushing away.
Isolating, right? Running away, isolating, definitely pushing everybody away, definitely doing enough damage where they don't want to be around us, right? But the thing is, a lot of the times, we're like one walking, talking self-defense mechanism. We're trying to keep, like I said, our main goal is to be loved and connected and wanted and useful and all that, but what we are living, we are completely self-destructive and we are completely pushing everybody away, and we're basically going to bring on our greatest fears. Like what yours is, Mr. Don, you're a little bit older of a gentleman, the people, you're the last in the generation and they're going, I mean, that's just an unfortunate part of life. But Frank, what you got going on, that's going to be what happens. And nobody wants to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone. I mean, we can't. Do you understand our whole entire life? What's it like going to school as a kid? What are you trying to do? Impress people. Why? Because you want them to what? Like you. Yeah. Yeah, no, you want to be accepted, right? We're so afraid to be who we really are. We send our representative, right? We put this wall up this is me, even though it's some of us and it's really not all of us, but that's what we really do, because we're afraid if they find out who we really are, they're not going to like us. And they're not going to want to be with us. Then they're going to reject us, and then we're going to be on an island all by ourselves, and then we might as well just kill ourselves because we have nobody. Do you understand? Yeah, Chin.
Well, one thing I like about this day and age is that they're teaching more acceptance. Especially with the LGBTQ, ABCD,
Yeah.
LBGTQ, LMNOP.
It's teaching more acceptance, and not only that, it's a lot cooler to be the individual or the person that stands out. I've noticed that with a lot more of the younger generation, these millennials are crazy, but they're willing to accept people as they are more so now than back when I was growing up or back when I was hired. Especially in Jamaica, they do something called follow fashion, and that means they do what America does. So I've seen more gay people, I've seen a lot more, I've seen them open up a little bit more.
Yeah. And well, it's different in Jamaica too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot different. You have to be in a city or else if you're in the country areas, I would definitely get it.
So, well, all right, well, let me ask you this. So why are people so, let's just pretend they're not accepting of LGBTQ or people that are unlike them. Where does that stem from?
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear of the unknown.
Fear. What do you say?
I'm just saying, I don't even understand how they even play the part just because they legalize shit. It's still a sin.
Well, listen, I truly believe the greatest gift God ever gave us was each other, right? And every single human being is the most important human being on earth. And what they eat don't make me shit. So if that's how they live, and if that's how they were born, that's how they, like, who am I to tell them that's not right or wrong? You know what I mean? Like,
None of my business.
yeah, it's none of my business, and God never, you know, like, I'm not,
Pursuit of happiness.
yeah, like, I truly believe that everybody should be able to be free and to be the person that they want to be. Because listen, I don't know about you, but I was never the person that God wanted me to be. I was always the person that I decided to be. I liked the way Chris dressed, so I would dress like Chris. And I liked the way Chin talked, so I would talk like him. I liked the way you did certain things, so I would do certain things. And I was like I said, I was the person that I decided to be, or I was the person that I wanted, that all you thought. Like, do you understand? I was just trying to fit in. I was just trying to not be rejected. I was just trying to not be made fun of or embarrassed. Do you understand what I'm saying? It wasn't until I got clean, worked the steps, and truly got in touch with who I really was. I mean, am I the only one that was doing that?
No.
No. And like I said, if we were in constant fear like that, and then we put that stuff in our body, and all of a sudden the fear goes away, why wouldn't we love that shit so much? Why wouldn't we abuse that shit? Because here's the thing. I didn't know this until I got clean and got sober. I am a very, very sensitive person. I didn't know. You know why? You know what I did, Don? You know what I said a lot of shit? I said a lot of this. I don't give a fuck. Every time I said I don't give a fuck, I gave a fuck. I was just too embarrassed to let you know I gave a fuck. Right? Anybody in here say shit? Oh, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're too embarrassed to care or show that we were hurt or in pain. I mean, anybody ever have a conversation with their friends and be like, you know, they really hurt my feelings?
Yeah.
Did you've said that?
Even my son.
Yeah? Who said that?
I don't.
No. Well, why?
I just don't care.
Well,
I do, but I don't say that.
well, because we don't want to show weakness. Because why? If we're weak, I don't know about you, if we're weak, then we're food. And for food, people are going to eat us up. And if they eat us up, then maybe we're just that small little person that we thought we were.
I got used to them talking shit.
Really?
That's the way I've always been. I just let it go.
And that's a shitty way to exist.
That's why I don't have any
Because every
friends
single
anymore.
human being, man, your feelings, your wants, your needs, it's important. Nobody is better than anybody. Brent, give me some fears.
Embarrassment. Being alone is my biggest fear. Losing my wife and son. Worry, anxiety, worrying about what other people think. Those are some of the fears that I can.
Nice.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I got an 11-year-old daughter. I don't live with her. She lives with her mother. She used to talk to me all the time. So I reached out 3 days ago and I texted her and she wasn't really responding all that much. And I asked why don't we talk all that much anymore? And I said, it kind of hurts my feelings when I don't hear from you for a week. And I'm used to being honest and telling people how I feel. And then I was talking to my parents about it, and they made me feel bad, saying I wasn't acting like a good parent, and I was trying to manipulate her. And I disagreed with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it probably was weird because I'm trying to be close and be a good dad, but they're acting like I shouldn't act like that with my kid.
Yeah.
And act like she's hurting my feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it did, obviously.
Yeah.
So that was something I was just struggling with recently, you know?
And it stems from the fear of not getting what you want, which is
Yeah,
a good.
It stems from a fear of not having a good relationship, like she's drifting away, you know?
Well, and like I said, the two major fears. It's not getting what you want. Because what do you want? The best relationship you can have with your daughter. So anything that threatens that scares the shit out of you. Yeah. Chin.
I've tried to turn my fear into a positive by expressing inclusivity. Kind of like when I go to fashion shows or whatever, it's not just Victoria's Secret models, it's everybody that, coming from everybody's life. So instead of fearing the unknown people, I would rather befriend them or at least just be coordinated.
I mean,
So I turn my fear into something positive because my fear is being, rejected always.
yeah,
So
that's a
I
huge
turn
fear.
it
I
into
mean,
something else.
that shit stings, doesn't it? That hurts. Anybody in here, like, you guys not think that we carry baggage from previous relationships into every relationship that we were in?
Oh, yeah.
Because has every one of us been devastated or destroyed or hurt? And what are we trying not to be? Hurt again? So we're trying to have that not happen again, so we kind of move a little differently. We put up these walls, right? How many people in here are the person that's like, I'm going to cheat first because if they cheat on me, then at least I got them first? Come on. No?
I've had days where I just went full on swing because I did was gay.
What did he say? What did he
I
say?
said maybe if the opportunity presented itself. Usually I've been loyal because it's not like it's just being thrown in my face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, all right, so forget about even the cheating thing, but how many of us are in something and we almost believe that it might be too good to be true, or we don't trust them because of past things, that we kind of sabotage it because at least it's on our terms, and then at least we can be okay with the outcome because it was on our terms, and we weren't the victim this time. Yeah.
True to be too good is huge. That's a big fear of mine, and I put up defense mechanisms and walls to defend that.
Guys, you don't realize how much fear comes into when shit is going good, because we're usually scared to death the other foot's gonna drop, the other shoe's gonna drop. Do you understand what I'm saying? Really, all I'm trying to do with this whole group is to show you how fear is completely surrounded and encompasses and is intertwined in everything. Every decision we make, everything we do all day long. I mean, those two fears that I set up there, the fear of not getting what you want or losing what you already have, it comes into everything. It happens in here all the time when people are, oh, I'm going to go to this place for sober living, and now they want me to go here. But I wanted to go here. That's not for you, Zach. I'm just saying. I wanted to go here, so they're not getting what they want, and all of a sudden, this is bullshit, that's bullshit, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. It's like, when we possibly get told no and that we might not get what we want, we lose our shit. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I mean, how many people in here are hard drug users? What's it like when you call him and he's like, I ain't got it?
I'm finna flip out.
What?
Finna flip out.
What is
Like intravenous or what?
Well, hard, no.
What the
Crack
fuck?
cocaine is a hard drug. That's as hard as it comes. So listen,
All your plug. I'm telling me.
hold on. You've got a pocket full of cash and you want to get right. And you can't get it. Nobody's answering. Not Flacco, not Hector, nobody. Are you pissed?
Yeah.
Are you pissed?
Depends on the day.
Come on.
No, it depends on
He
the
goes,
day.
depends on the day. Listen, when I want what I want, and I have the means to get it, and I've already planned out what I'm doing with it, and I don't get it, holy shit. Don't be in my area when that happens, because you're gonna get your head bit off.
It might maybe go to second choice. If you have a second.
Well, listen, that's why I said none of them are answering the phone. There's a drought, like that used to happen in
No,
like
but I mean,
80s.
different drugs.
Yeah, but listen.
Alcohol.
Yeah, well, see, alcohol's your thing, right?
Right.
So say all the goddamn liquor stores were closed up and all there was K2.
Oh yeah, that's happening.
And were you happy with K2? No, you would drink mouthwash.
You're up at 6 o'clock in the morning and the liquor store doesn't open until 10.
Yeah.
And you're wondering what the fuck am I gonna do for
That's
the next
happened.
4 hours?
Well, listen.
You grab the can out of the door and you run and you throw $5 on the counter.
Listen, we're going to read the story at 6 we're going to do is a vision for you, but it talks about it in there. It talks about the 4 horsemen. Fear, bewilderment, frustration,
And despair.
and despair. Is that what it's not like listen, is that what it's not like when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning after you drank everything and the liquor store's not open till 10?
Oh, it's total despair.
It's bewilderment. Fuck, what do I do now? Anger? This motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, listen, we went through it. You ever go on vacation and not bring enough?
All the time.
Oh! I know.
I'd have to turn around and go back. Every time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is what I'm trying to say, like how much fear, and really they say the only thing, like, what, anybody in here know the opposite of fear? Well, we're worried and we're stressed and no, think about it. What's the one thing that's different? Come on, Don. You should know this. Faith. Instead of worrying about something being like, because here's the thing, all the shit that we're worried about, most of it never happens. And then here's the thing, if we actually look back on how we handle shit in life, except drug addiction and alcoholism, because you didn't really handle that, you know, all the shit that's ever happened in our life, we actually handle it pretty good when it happens, right? It's like the fear of the shit happening is actually worse than the shit happening. Go ahead, Sean. Tell me some of your fears.
Let's see. Losing my kids or my wife, not succeeding in school, not getting another good job.
All those two major fears that I said, right? Not getting what you want or losing what you have.
Yep.
Yeah. Mr. Foster, give me some of your fears.
Just dying.
Dying?
Yep.
Why are you so scared of dying? No, I'm not like, I'm just asking.
I don't know. You never know how it's going to be a slow one or a fast one. You never know.
That's true. That's true.
You don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah. Because, listen, it's funny. I remember when I was in Boston and the guy told me, Mike, this disease is rooted in low self-esteem and fear. And I was like, well, that's fucked up because I know I'm a drug addict, but I don't have low self-esteem because I'm pretty fucking awesome. And I'm not scared of nothing because you got to see the shit I do. You know what I mean? I'm driving around with football numbers of years in my trunk at all times. You know what I mean? Like the shit I do. And then I realized, right? I do all that shit because I'm afraid not to live up to this. I'm the type of person that won't back down from anybody. Why? Because I'm more afraid of what people would say than getting my head cracked open. Do you understand what I'm saying? So really, I actually was completely motivated by fear. But when someone asked me, not me, I ain't afraid of nothing. You know? I mean, like, and now when I break it down to all the shit, I'm afraid of everything. I mean, nowadays, it's a lot easier. That anxiety that I used to have, worried about the future, man, all we ever have is today. Why do you think I get so excited to come in here and see you guys sometimes? I am in the moment. I see people who actually give a shit about changing their life. Who in here has kids? I already know the answer to that, but who in here has kids? I mean, anybody, I just told this to Brent before. Brent, who deserves you to be sober more than you?
My son.
Your kids. Your granddaughter. Your granddaughter has a sober Don Benson. Couldn't have it. That world's greatest grandfather, the cup, the mug, it'll actually be true. Not just something she got at the dollar store. I mean, this is what it is. Go ahead, Kyle.
I got about 7 of them.
Okay.
Not being accepted, dying before my parents, obviously staying sober, being a frequent flyer to rehabilitation centers, my dad committing suicide, not loving myself, not exceeding my own expectations.
Okay. Good, man. Matthew.
Others' approval, feeling anything, being homeless, no family, losing what mind I have left.
Your mind's pretty sharp, buddy.
Physical effects from drugs, internal damage from drugs. Tomorrow.
Good one.
Right.
That was sweet, man.
No, it was the
Go ahead, Daniel.
My biggest fears, well, going homeless, going to jail, relapsing, which all comes together. What people think of me, like you were saying, getting embarrassed, my anxiety and panic attacks, mom dying. I mean,
Yes.
keep going.
Okay, good. Pam?
My biggest fear is dying alone. That is my very biggest, and something bad happening to my son. That's the
Yeah.
main.
Okay.
What people think of me, being a bad dad, relapsing, not succeeding in life, but by that I mean not being able to provide for my family,
Yeah.
right? And then death, because I fear the idea that there is no afterlife and this is it.
I get it.
I don't have any.
You don't have any? You're not afraid of nothing? All right, man.
Yeah.
You're a gangster.
Living by myself in an apartment because I feel incarcerated.
Yeah.
Once I close that door.
Well, because you're alone.
Yeah,
Not
being
because you're
alone.
incarcerated. You're living in an apartment. You can leave anytime you want.
Yeah, but
walls
still.
ain't gray. Food's good.
Go to bed by myself, alone.
Yeah. Guys,
Sucks.
hey guys, we need each other.
Yeah.
So we got used to, and then I'm gonna say some more shit. Go ahead. Use guys.
You guys.
Y'all.
I know what you're saying.
Fear of being forgotten and fear of yesterday.
Okay. You stole that from him.
No, that was tomorrow.
I know, but you fear of being forgotten? All right.
That's my big one.
Yeah.
Mine are just all basically being broke. I mean, I wrote down like 7, but they all are.
They all go down to being okay.
My biggest fear, I'll tell you that, is me never having a relationship with my nephew because my brother and I have been,
Okay.
like, for real.
Okay.
Like, I really.
All right, and now here's the thing. Almost all the stuff that you guys told me, right? Do we understand that if we keep living the way we do, we're going to bring that shit to us faster than anything? Right? Right? So you got to do something different, right? Whatever. So here's the thing. What did I tell you before? Love and fear, right? If the absence of fear fills you with love, and you can't feel any better than, because there's a whole bunch of different types of love. You got the lustful sex part of love where it'd be over here, and then you got the type of love where you're just being charitable and doing anything for any. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then everything in between: brothers, cousins, friends, family, neighbors, whatever. There's a whole bunch of love, but it all kind of makes us feel good, right? So if that makes us feel good, because listen, when we're getting high, when we're drinking and we're doing this, yeah, we might feel good for a few seconds, but what do we really feel from it? Bless you, friend. Bless you. Come on, guys. I want to hear some of the things. Bless you, friend. Them dope fiend sneezes. What? No, we don't feel connection. When you no, hold on. When you're getting high, what's your drug of choice?
You were just talking about drugs and love, and you said, what do we feel from it?
What I said was when you're using.
Oh, no, I answered the wrong question.
Okay, so when you're using, even though it might feel good for a few seconds or a few minutes or whatever, what comes with that using?
Isolation.
No, the exact opposite.
Guilty.
It's like it's
No.
being miserable.
Being
Yeah,
miserable.
guilty.
Guilt, shame, remorse,
Yeah.
hate, the self-hate, sickness.
For me, it's to disconnect. For me, it's to turn my brain off. Like,
Yeah.
literally, to be focused on one thing except my problems.
That's what you're using for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, when you're smoking crack, right? Does it not come with a bunch of shame, guilt, remorse? I fucking hate myself. What's wrong with myself? I know life shouldn't be this way. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why can't I be normal? What the fuck's the matter with me?
That comes after prolonged.
Well, didn't you hear what I said? I said for a few minutes or like, you know what I'm saying? It might feel good for a few minutes or however long. But what comes after? Because here's the whole thing. Can you physically or figuratively or financially afford to smoke crack 24/7? Forever? No. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, come on, man. Obviously, what happens? You can't. What happens? What happens? They come down. They come down. Right? I mean, guys, are we pretending that being drug addicts and alcoholics is a fun life? No, we're going to be real in this room, right? So what comes along with the using? Misery, the shame, the guilt, fucking everything up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, if love is the absolute most important thing in your life and you're moving like that, because here's the thing about the spiritual life. The more love you give, the more love you put out, the more love you receive. Anybody in here disagree with that?
No.
No.
No, it's true.
We give it that.
It's true. What? Listen, Maya Angelou said this. Listen to me, Zach. Listen to what I'm about to say, because
Listen.
Maya Angelou said, people will forget about what you say, and they will forget about what you do, but they will not forget about how you made them feel. So when you're going through life, if you don't want people to forget about you, lift them up, love on them, do something for them, help them through something. You know what I'm saying? Don't borrow their lawnmower and then never return it.
Better than you got it.
Yeah. In a whole bunch of pieces. I was going to give it back to you, but it's in a whole bunch of pieces.
No, you always return something better than you got it.
But you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
Okay, that's the whole thing with this.
Like my dad said, if you borrow it, you have to have a tank to fill it up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're doing crystal meth, chances are if you borrow something from somebody, you're not giving it back.
You can still have morals. I got you.
I'm just trying to. Did anybody actually during this group say, "Holy shit!" Like every waking moment or movement or decision I make is motivated by fear
or love?
Well, it should be by love. It's not. Not if you're in this room. Not if.
No, yeah.
I try to do that as much as I can. Do you think I don't get sidetracked? Do you think fear don't creep in? You don't think I sit at home sometimes going, "Man, I should be so much further along in life." Like what you said about financial shit. You know what I mean?
By every minute.
I worry about money, not for the reasons I used to worry about money for, but because I want to do more for my kids and I want to do this and I don't want to have to worry about that. Like, but at the same time, if I'm worried about that and focused on that, maybe we don't have this type of group here. Maybe I can't be of service. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, because seriously, all that we have is today. That's all we'll ever have, Jim. Every single day, all we got is today. You ever heard that you only live once thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's
true.
But this is the whole thing. You only live once is a bullshit way to live through life. Because that means you just go do whatever you want and fuck everybody, right? See, you live every single day. You only die once. You only live once. You live every day.
There's only one today. I'm just saying, for real though. Like, you know what I'm saying? You only live today.
And that's really what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All that matters is today. Make the most of today. The relationships you have, the stuff you got going on outside, you know, like even what's in here, I see a lot of shit in here that really upsets me a little bit because you guys have no idea how many people that were just in these rooms sitting with you this week and last week are out there fucking shit up again. You know what I mean? What's it like out there when we use it? Like, I know when I'm using, I hate myself. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. I'm calling myself a piece of shit over and over and over. I'm fucking up money. I'm fucking up everything. Everybody around me scared to be around me or worried for me. I mean, nothing good comes out of this. If you are sitting in this room, the party's over. Do you want to keep trying to go back to that party? Or do you want to do something and be better? Because all those fears that you guys put down, except for you, Chris, because you got some heavy ones in there, like, you know, all those fears that you guys put down, all that shit is going to come right to your front door and you're going to invite it if you don't change. You know what I mean? All right, guys. We're going to do another group at 6. We're going to do chapter 11 out of the big book. It's my favorite chapter. It's called A Vision for You. There's a lot of good shit in there. So I don't know where dinner is, if it's even here yet, but we're going to figure... What?
She left like 20 minutes.
No, she's outside talking on. Oh.
No, she left a little.
That's Adrian.
She left her 20 minutes ago.